Now, police in the UK have forced out a group of disabled people from the Parliament building in the capital, London, following a protest over benefit cuts. Protesters were trying to enter the House of Commons during Prime Minister David Cameron's question and answer session. They are angry over the government's decision to end the Independent Living Fund. The programme, which is set to be closed at the end of June, provides vital support for nearly 20,000 disabled people across Britain. A group of campaigners also held a protest rally outside Parliament to show their anger at the decision. To get the latest on that, we're now joined by Amina Taylor, Press TV's correspondent, who's joining us live now via Skype from London. Now, Amina, certainly the image of disabled people, and especially those in wheelchairs, being roughed up, I imagine, has made many people quite uncomfortable.
And angry, to be honest, Wakar, because after all, for many of the disabled campaigners and for the group who call this Disabled People Against Cuts, I'm very well versed in their methods of direct action. And on many occasions, I've actually had the pleasure and the privilege of speaking with them about these issues. They say they're fighting for their very lives. And if these cuts go ahead, in essence around a 26% cut to the Independent Living Fund, they say simply many will not make it. They're already on the breadlines with rather invasive tests to find out if they're suitable, able, and in fact willing to go back to work, when that's not exactly what's going on here. It's striking at the very heart of the government by trying to get in to challenge David Cameron at PMQs, Prime Minister's Question Time, because after all, just this Monday, the Prime Minister refused to rule out the fact that it is the disability section of the welfare cuts that might see some of the sharpest slashes when George Osborne reveals his emergency budget on July the 8th, Waka.
So exactly how is the government defending this?
Well, at the moment, they're not trying to even defend it. What they're doing with the IFL is to pass it to the control of local authorities, and in doing so, wash their hands of the situation to say, well, it's not us making the cuts, it's actually your local council who will be making what's amounting to more than a quarter in these circumstances. And by doing that, councils have a really tight, difficult situation. You're talking about billions being shaved off council budgets up and down the country. And the IFL, those in receipt of the IFL, as you mentioned, around 20,000 there at the start of this piece, they will suffer and they will find it more and more difficult to eke out a life that's already put under pressure by these welfare reforms. It's going to be even more desperate. And as John McDonnell, the veteran left-wing MP, said today, he was in favor of direct action because when the government doesn't listen, you're left with very few options.
Okay, Amina, as always, thanks very much for that. That was Amina Taylor, who was speaking to us live from London.